Hello everybody, welcome back to my videos. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to talk you through my top TV shows and my top films at the moment, and some of them you may not have heard of, so it might be useful if you're looking for something new to watch. And yeah, stay tuned if you want to see my top 5. Okay, so in at number 5 we have a film called The Necessary Death of Charlie Countryman, and on IMDb, that is the internet movie database, if you didn't know, but a lot of you probably already would know because everything is literally on there. So on IMDb it's rated 6.4 out of 10, and I'm pretty tough on films. I thought IMDb were a little bit harsh on this film because I thought it was really good. Basically it is about Shia LaBeouf, however you say his name. It's him playing a guy who is travelling abroad, and he falls for a Romanian beauty whose unreachable heart has its origins in her violent, charismatic ex. So pretty intense that. So I'm sure you all know Shia LaBeouf. He's in loads of things like Transformers, oh, and Even Stevens. Does anybody remember watching Even Stevens? I used to watch that all the time. It's a certificate 15, so not too bad, and it was made in 2013, so you get a fairly recent Shia LaBeouf in the film if you fancy him like I do, so it's a win-win situation. I just really like this film because I am a big like thriller, psychological, weird film person. So if you like rom-coms, maybe just switch off the video now because none of the films I'm recommending are rom-coms. But I just really like this film because it's got like the drama and the crime, and it also has the elements of romance and stuff. So it's kind of nice, it makes a nice change. So a lot of the scenes in this film are really intense, whether it's like the fighting scenes or the romance scenes, but the chemistry between Shia and his girlfriend is really believable. Oh, and also Ron Weasley from Harry Potter, yes, Rupert Grint is in this film. So if you fancy him as well, you get to see him in his 2013 self. I would probably give this film an 8 out of 10 if I were to rate it, so not exactly as harsh as all the IMDb and Rotten Tomato critics, but there we go, it's definitely worth a watch, and I want it on DVD for my birthday. Cough cough if anybody wants to get me a present. Alright, next at number 4 we have one film that probably like 95% of you will probably have heard of, but I just had to include it anyway because I watched it recently and forgot how good it actually was. So in at number 4 we have the infamous Fight Club, not actually Infamous Fight Club, just Fight Club, but it's a pretty infamous film. And that was made in 1999, so pretty old, isn't it? But it's a good film. Sometimes the old ones are the best. And it's a certificate 18, so if you're watching this and you are not 18 yet, you shouldn't be watching it. There's not actually, well, I was gonna say there's not like much bad stuff that happened in it, but thinking about it, there actually is. There's a lot of like violence and sex and drugs, so all the bad things that you shouldn't be watching if you're under 18. This is in IMDb's top 250 because it's just that good, and it's rated 8.8, so pretty high actually. If I were to rate it, I'd probably give it an 8.5. It's one of those films which unfortunately once you've watched it once it probably doesn't have the same impact, but it's still pretty good, and it was interesting to watch it recently for the second time knowing what I knew after watching it the first time, if that makes sense. I'll read out the description for you now. It says, an insomniac office worker looking for a way to change his life crosses paths with a devil may-care soap maker, forming an underground fight club that evolves into something much, much more. So again, not exactly your average rom-com there. Can't exactly say much more without ruining it, unfortunately, but yeah, it's one of those films that you need to see in your lifetime because it's pretty good. Okay, in at number 3 we have a film called Leon, and this was made in 1994, so again, the old ones are sometimes the best ones. And this is rated on IMDb at 8.6, again in IMDb's top 250, but unfortunately if you're under 18 it's not exactly the best film for you to watch because there is much shooting, much blood, much violence, and the storyline's a little bit odd. I will read out the description for you now. Matilda, a 12-year-old girl, is reluctantly taken in by Leon, a professional assassin, after her family is murdered. Leon and Matilda form an unusual relationship as she becomes his protege and learns the assassin trade. So essentially a 12-year-old girl becomes an assassin, but it's a great film again. So I would rate that 8.6. Wait, no, that's higher than Fight Club, innit? They're probably on a par. It's probably going to be 8.5 and 8.5 because I can't exactly rate one higher than the other because they're both awesome. Struggles, eh? I also kind of like it because Leon's French and he has a really nice accent in it. He's got a really deep voice, and even though he's a bit of a loner and a bit of a weirdo, he still has a really nice voice. Okay, in at number 2 we have a TV show. I've moved on to the TV shows now, and it is a TV show called Mr. Robot, and this came out last year for the first time on IMDb. This is rated 8.7 out of 10, so it's pretty up there in terms of the best TV shows that are around in the world. And the description is: Mr. Robot follows Elliot, a young programmer who works as a cybersecurity engineer by day and a vigilante hacker by night. Elliot finds himself at a crossroad when the mysterious leader of an underground hacker group recruits him to destroy the corporation he is paid to protect. Ooh. And Mr. Robot is again an 18, so people under 18 do not watch. But I really like this because again, the story is really unconventional and like nothing I have seen before, so I would recommend this if you're into your computer hacking stuff. Not that I am really, but it's a good story and I enjoy things with random twists and weird stuff, like I've said before. I would rate this. This is so hard because all the things I've said are so good and I just can't. I'm gonna have to give it like another 8.5, but then that's lower than IMDb. Oh, I don't know, but it's pretty good, okay? Okay, and last but not least, at number 1, we have a TV show again called True Detective. Needed a drum roll there. True Detective came out in 2014 and series 1 was in 2014, series 2 2015, and I'm not sure if they're making another series, but I hope they are. This is again a certificate 18s. For God's sake, I'm really struggling with the new iOS 10 thingamajig. I'm clicking home like so many times to bloody... Okay, it's working now. I'm just used to like the swipe where it unlocks it. So every time I do that, it goes onto the like where all the little different cards are, and can't hack it at the moment. Anyway, True Detective. It is 9.1 out of 10 on IMDb, and that is really high, so you know it must be good. Every episode is 55 minutes long, so almost an hour. There's no breaks. It is like a HBO thing, so the same people who produced Game of Thrones, all of that good stuff. So yeah. The description for this is an anthology series in which police investigators unearth the personal and professional secrets of those involved both within and outside the law. That really does not give you a very good flavour of what it's about, and I could probably do a better synopsis than that. but again it's really hard because you don't want to give anything away. But essentially in the first series there are two guys, two detectives, and they're working together on this case. They don't do very well, so it like gets taken away from them and it just sort of goes into the dark, and then they sort of meet up like a few years later and they get back on the case, and yeah, that's all I'm saying. But it's really good, and I don't know if any of you know Matthew McConaughey, I think that's how you say his name, but he's in Interstellar, the guy in Interstellar, and he plays such a good part in this True Detective series 1. Like pretty much most of series 1 is just him and the other guy sat in police rooms just talking to the other detectives about what happened way back when it was kicking off, but they somehow just managed to grip you straight away, and normally those sorts of things can be quite boring and you just want to like get to the part where everything's solved, but like really I've never seen anything like it. Like you just watch it and you want to keep watching it and want to keep watching it. And yeah, I'm rambling now, but it's really good. So if you like your detective stuff or crimey, drama-y stuff, then go ahead and watch this. And I would give True Detective probably a 9 or maybe a 9.5 because it's literally one of the best things I've ever seen. There we are, that is my top 5 films / TV shows that I really have enjoyed watching or am enjoying watching now, and if you haven't heard of them then it might have helped you, I hope. And give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will be back next week with a baking video, I think, so a bit different to this. Oh, and by the way, my eBay stuff in my last video, most of it didn't sell, so if you've seen something and you are a bit disappointed that it's like not for sale anymore, then get in touch with me and I'll put it back on eBay because most of it didn't sell. I sold like 2 things, so there we are. Contact me if you want some of my eBay stuff still, because it's still here. Anyway, yeah, that's it really, so thanks very much for watching and I will catch you next week. Bye bye!